5 teams of amateur engineers, 5 short weeks to build 5 awe-inspiring, all-terrain vehicles. Yes, it's Scrappy Races! Our Scrappy Racers will be building the ultimate in all-round super adaptable vehicles at home out of old scrap.
Then they'll start on a gruelling 1,000-mile journey round England, Wales and Scotland, facing hair-raising challenges in 3 very special locations.
Each week as the championship unfolds, teams have 8 hours on a local Scrapheap to adapt their vehicles.
They're going to have to make them tyre-spinningly fast for a breakneck test of speed on Pendine Sands in South Wales.
Then all rugged and chunky for a bone-jarring off-road event on one of the country's toughest off-road courses.
And finally evolve into amazing amphibians for a grand aquatic finale on the deep and chilly waters of Loch Lomond.
All our teams know at this stage is to expect to face every possible type of terrain. So with just 5 weeks and a £1,500 budget to build their basic rig, we've had to draft in the creme de la creme of bodging brilliance.
The barley pickers, Devon farmers with a love of gas axes and big hammers. True experts in the field of agricultural engineering.
From Oxford, we have the Green Goddesses. Brainy gals with PhDs and an eco streak. These ladies like their engineering clean, green and uncomplicated.
The men are guaranteed to build, aren't they? Big, muscly machines. Yeah. So let's go for the green option.
The home counties are represented by the Boat Boys, well-heeled country gents with the ability to always see the funny side.
Woo, that's expensive noises.
From Nuneaton in the Midlands, the megalomaniacs are heavy metal bikers with an unwavering dedication to the cause.
Now, we've got a day and a bit to finish this off. I think, chaps, we're going to end up working through the night.
And finally, the Chaos Crew, a no-nonsense father and son team from Doncaster, who take a less than subtle approach to their engineering.
Not too far. Oh, like a Rolls Royce. Like a Skoda.
At the end of their build, the teams must undergo a super tough roadworthiness test known as the SVA, or Single Vehicle Approval, an inspection for home-built vehicles that makes the MOT look a doddle.
OK, Andy, all right unlock, please.
If they fail, they won't be able to take their place on the Scrappy Races start line.
On their Devon farm, the barley pickers realise there's no time to waste getting started on their build.
Well, we want to keep with the agricultural theme, or something a bit rustic and big and chunky somehow, don't we?
What about a lorry then? Why don't us have an old lorry? Hey, well, let's get on then and see what we can find, so that's best thing.
The most obvious place to look for a lorry, the local lorry graveyard.
I said no good with no radio.
Andy takes a fancy to an old Bedford truck.
42 inches.
But his teammates are less than impressed.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. It's horrible.
The team keeps searching for a vehicle they all agree on.
We'll see what we can find.
But after an afternoon's fruitless search, Captain Andy decides he has to lay down the law.
Well, looks like to me, Robin, it's going to have to be a Bedford.
Oh, no, not the Bedford, anything but the Bedford.
It's so easy to convert.
That's all right for you at 4'6" tall. Have you ever seen anybody drive a Bedford more than 4'6" tall?
Personally, no, I ain't. But then you'll have to go on a diet.
Is that right?
You'll have to lose 2 foot in a fortnight.
Right.
Back on the farm, Robin aims to take out his frustration with the gas axe as the whole team prepare to wreak havoc on the Bedford chassis.
Hello, barley pickers! Howdy! Now, I see you made a decision on the old chassis.
Bedford, yes, that's the boy.
You've gone for the Bedford, Andy. You're looking very happy about it.
Or.
Robin's looking slightly less pleased. How tall are you, Robin?
6'3" or 4".
So it's not going to be that comfortable for you in there.
It's not going to be at all comfortable, is it? Sort of knees up around my chin.
So what is your basic design? What are you actually building then?
Well, us is going to build a tractor. That's what we're going to build. Yeah, we want a 90 mile an hour tractor. We're going to take the cap off here. This is going to put them round about where you be to, or perhaps a little bit further back. And then that's going to look for a good snorter of an engine to put in here then.
You're going to need a big old engine to drive
hello,
this.
yeah. It's a bit like my missus, huge.
The barley pickers aim to turn their truck into the biggest, fastest tractor the world has ever seen. They'll take the cab off their lorry and stick it halfway along the chassis, making enough space for an enormous engine at the front under a big boxy bonnet. With oversized wheels, their creation should look pretty tractor-like, except loads bigger and twice as fast. Its sheer grunt and big wheels should help them do well off-road, but making 7 tons of steel float on Loch Lomond could be a tough task. And it's not long before the barley pickers encounter their first setback of the build.
All right, boys. Go steady there, Andy. Hey, boys, go in!
Rob!
Hell!
That was a good lorry, that, Keith.
Oh, dear. That ain't what you would call a proper job, is it, boy?
But accidents will happen, won't they, Robin? With just 5 weeks to build their vehicles, our teams need to get cracking. But for Hampshire's boat boys, the build's begun with a lot of talking and not a lot of doing.
Hovercraft?
No, far too technical.
Airboat?
No.
You think I've gone bonkers, don't you?
They're certain they want to base their design on a boat, they just can't decide exactly how.
We've got to accept you're not going to be good at... You can't build a vehicle that would do all things for all men really, really well.
In an attempt to get the ideas process rolling, Monty has bought not 1, but 3 donor vehicles and spent a fair chunk of their £1,500 budget. Firstly, on an old diesel minivan, but it's rusted through and has a knackered engine. Not to worry, because next there's a 1980s American estate.
That looks beautiful.
It's got a monster V8 engine Monty liked the look of.
So is she a runner?
Yeah.
Do you have much experience of car dealers?
No.
Particularly those of the lower end of the market.
Especially ones from Romford and Essex.
It's safe to say that Romford and Essex has a different opinion of what's road legal to what I have.
And finally, a non-running ambulance, which Toby agrees to collect and tow back to the house. But it's just not going to be their day.
I just blown a diff. What a pain, nightmare. See if I've got anything in reverse. Woo, that's expensive noises.
I'm glad you can laugh, because I couldn't.
Try fifth. Woo!
It's a costly repair bill for Toby, and the other boat boys are feeling less than chipper.
So, Johnny, all in all, that was a particularly expensive end to a very non-productive day.
On a Nuneaton industrial estate, the megalomaniacs are hatching plans for Scrappy Race's domination.
We're going a little bit off the wall on this one. I think everyone's expecting us to build a 4-wheel vehicle. Well, we're bikers and we don't really like 4-wheel vehicles. So we're going to build a trike.
Right, what do we need to get this body shell off the chassis?
Body mounting
At the heart of the megalomaniac's trike is going to be an old Range Rover scavenged by team engineer Paul.
Six under the back, but anything you see
What, you mean
attached-
we've got to take the supple approach?
Yeah.
He's not used to us, is he?
Oh, no.
It's only the super tough chassis
Brake pipe.
and V8 engine they're interested in.
Handbrake.
So they're soon getting to grips with removing the bodywork.
Hit it!
It's all moving a little too slowly for the captain, so he takes matters into his own hands. In fact, Nosha has plans to ensure their trike attracts plenty of attention.
I've got a real thing about scorpions, so I'm going to base it around a scorpion. So you're going to have like nice big claws at the front, effectively the wheels, nice big engine, and then a nice long tail.
Nosha's dream is a supercharged trike with a difference. They plan to butcher that 4-wheel drive chassis to leave just the front half. Then weld on a lightweight frame and single wheel at the back. They'll put their powerful V8 engine at the front and a big curved sting on the back to imitate the Scorpion. Light and very fast, it should go like stink. But with 3 hefty megalomaniacs on board, it it could have some stability issues.
Our biking trio have only been at it for a day, but the super trike is already taking shape.
So you're going to finesse it now, not
Yes, yes.
Just use some. You need delicate tools for this.
We
area,
do, we do.
So you've got half the car here now. Then, so what's the next stage? You've got to presumably build the bit on the back.
We've pre-built one. Chaps, want to get it out?
Actually,
you get the chassis. I'll get the new back wheel.
Oh, you got another wheel?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, get the other wheel.
That's big.
Yeah. Go tight.
Oh, I see. Oh,
and then this comes into here.
Look at that. That is incredible. There's definitely. I mean, I've never seen anything even remotely like it. That is
It's
amazing.
huge, isn't it?
It's enormous. And Paul, you know these engines quite well, I take it.
Yeah, I've worked on them for a long time,
Right.
so I'll be able to tweak it up a bit.
You can tweak it
and
up.
Get the maximum out of it.
Oh, lovely.
So
Nice.
hopefully be first to cross the line.
You'd better.
I mean, I've got a feeling this has definitely got speed on its side. This one.
It should handle extremely well.
Yeah.
On all the challenges.
Right.
Apart from water.
Yes, but everyone's in the same boat. I mean, the only thing I can think of now is the fella from the SVA. You know, he's going to have all this sort of list of vehicles he's seen in the past, and this doesn't really fit into any category. It's going to completely throw him.
It'll blow him away, won't it?
Yeah.
But I can't see it being a problem. It should go through as a trike.
Right.
And as far as I'm aware, you don't have to cover so many issues
Right.
with a trike that you do with a car.
Yeah.
The Chaos crew will be building their machine in the backyard of Captain Andy's Doncaster home. But first, Andy must venture south to source a pair of London black cabs essential to their build plans. His destination is a taxi salvage yard in deepest, darkest Essex.
I've never seen so many London taxis in one place.
After a bit of bartering across the north-south divide,
I'll meet you 500 for the pair.
Andy heads back up the M1 to show brother John what he's bought.
Well, look at that, eh? Will that do? That'll do. Right, get your grinder out, let's get cutting it. We've got as planned. The Chaos crew are going to build a Chaos cab. It's going to be 2 fronts of 2 taxis welded together, an engine in both ends, give us loads of horsepower, 4-wheel drive, should go like the clappers. Can't wait to get started.
So now it's time for what the Chaos crew do best, wrecking cars. With the taxis in pieces, the family set about stripping an old Cavalier for its fuel-injected engine and any other useful parts. Chuffing brilliant.
The Green Goddesses have 3 golden rules for their build. Keep the design simple, make sure it's eco-friendly, and the only car to be seen in is a Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, look. Oh, nice. Oh, nice colour.
And the bargain,
Look.
300 quid.
Yay! Star, Nikki, we bow to your good judgment.
Almost as soon as it arrives, the girls are laying into their pristine Beetle with an angle grinder.
Hi, Lisa. Hello. How you doing?
Great. Not bad.
Hello. Now, this is what I call a Beetle, but what are you doing chopping it about?
We've got to, really. We're trying to remove the engine because we're going to put in a diesel engine.
What's wrong with this engine? Why can't you use this one?
It's a petrol engine and we're going to run on vegetable oil, so we need a diesel engine. We've got a complete Peugeot 405 1994 1.9 turbo diesel.
Woohoo!
Whoa.
So it should get a bit of poke out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to this.
Yeah. So what do you reckon your top speed's going to be with that engine?
With the gearbox we've got, about 90. But we want it sort of like over 100 if we can. but we are going to have to change the gearbox, which is a problem we've got to kind of solve. So at the minute, without breaking the gearbox, probably about 90, to be honest.
When you put the new diesel turbo engine in, it's going to be that much bigger than this. It's going to sort of hang over the edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
How far is it going to hang out?
We're not sure yet because we don't know how much into the car we can actually fit the engine. Because if it overhangs too much, we're just going to wheelie.
The Goddesses plan to keep their Beetle's bodywork in one piece. But it's going to take some clever engineering at the back to make space for their bigger, faster engine. And it's going to be tough linking modern parts into a 30-year-old car. The diesel engine will run happily on processed vegetable oil, with no nasty emissions and almost no loss of performance. And water shouldn't be a problem. Because the Beetle's cabin design is based on an airplane cockpit, it's almost watertight. But carrying that excess weight at the rear could give them more wheelie than welly. So there's plenty of work to do, but these girls don't mess about. And it's not long before the Beetle's engine is history.
One-moved engine!
Well done!
On hand to assess our team's progress throughout the series is our tough-talking judge, Hadrian Spooner. Hadrian co-designed and built the extraordinary Arctic Challenger, the first vehicle to cross the treacherous Bering Straits. So he knows a thing or two about custom-built vehicles, and he's concerned the teams may have underestimated the work required to pass the SVA test.
One of the things that I think none of the teams realised when they came up with their original plans was this has got to pass the SVA test.
Oh yeah, it's a very strict laws.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a hell of a challenge for the boys.
Yeah.
You can't just get something and throw it together like they're doing Scrapheap challenge, and take it to a field and destroy it.
Yes.
Yes, it's got to
They've got to drive it along the road.
It's got to be safe.
What we've set the 5 teams though is quite a tall order. I mean, even though they've got longer to make it.
Oh, it is a large challenge, but they have to realise a few basic rules. You've got to steer clear of weight.
Right.
Weight is a big no-no. The heavier it is, the harder it is to move it around. The more horsepower you need. And if you're in mud, it's the further it to sink.
Right.
If you're on water, the further it'll sink, the more buoyancy you need. I mean, the winning team they'll have a powerful, small unit, which is light and versatile.
But Devon's barley pickers don't do small and lightweight. Andy and Keith have received a tip-off from a local farmer that he has the snorter of an engine they're looking for. The only problem is it's been rusting away in his cattle shed for over a year.
All right then, buds. Is this it? That's enormous. I mean, this is massive. What vehicle do you think it might have come out of?
I don't know, really. What do you reckon, Keith?
It came out of an aeroplane.
I reckon it did.
It's a monster 16-cylinder diesel engine and weighs well over a tonne.
All right.
And it's a major operation getting it back to Andy's farm for Robin to run his eye over.
So, Robin, what do you reckon to this little baby then?
I reckon that is lovely. I think that's all we could ask for.
Look here, Rob. We even got this here on there, look.
Oh, Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
It's a bit flash. I mean, how much power do you think you're actually going to get out of this?
What do you reckon? I reckon we get 500 horsepower out of that if we really squeezed it hard enough.
It is huge, though. I mean, realistically, is this going to be too big?
No. Was it too big?
I was wondering whether you can fit it in between the two chassis.
Yeah, of course we can.
Big hammer, Lisa.
Yeah.
Big hammer.
It'll go.
We'll get in the go.
Steering wheel underneath, that's coming off his fault.
Having dismantled every vehicle in sight, the Chaos crew are hard at work putting them all back together again.
Oh, like a Rolls Royce.
This time attaching one front end to another. The double-headed Chaos cab is beginning to take shape.
The Chaos crew plan to weld together the front ends from 2 London taxis onto a single chassis to create a double-headed mean machine. Plumbing in 2 fuel-injected engines, front and rear, will make them a tough act to beat in the speed event. But the 2-faced taxi's low ground clearance could make the sparks fly when they go off-road. And opting for 2 petrol engines means electrics that will be vulnerable to the wet stuff.
This is the moment of truth then, right? No.
This is it, this is the...
This is the front, the back going on the... Oh, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Whatever end it is.
We're going to see if it'll...
We'll have to drag it towards you, John.
Yeah. We're having the bonnet on? Bonnet on.
Put the bonnet on, let's have a look. Yeah, that looks smart. Good.
Then you've got your rear lights there, on the front. I mean, on the back. It's just really confusing.
So what is actually going to go in here then, when it's all finished?
Well, the intention is for all the Challengers, if we need a little bit more horsepower or four-wheel drive, then we just slip another motor in the back.
So you can just stick another engine in?
Yeah. We'll haul that lot off, another front-wheel drive engine in, preferably an automatic. Away we go. So we're looking for something like a 2-litre auto on the Scrappy yard, and then we've cracked it.
So, that'd be brilliant.
It's going to go well.
It will then.
It will go well.
Two engines are better than one, really.
Of course, yeah.
As long as they go roughly the same speed.
And the same direction.
Yeah. Because your boot might be overtaking your bonnet, which would be a bit alarming. But it does look great, guys. Now it's all in one piece.
Oh, we're very
very nice.
We like how it looks. It certainly turned out better than what we'd expect.
Yeah.
The barley pickers have opted for a diesel engine, but after a year in a cowshed, will it spring to life?
Right then, Rob. Moment of truth. See what happens, fellas.
Go on then. Ready?
But after a good clean-up and a little coaxing, the monster Rolls-Royce is up and running.
There's a good one in her, eh? That's a fair old piece of kit, this is, isn't it, eh?
And Keith has also scavenged a new jumbo-sized cab so Robin can travel in comfort. Now they have all they need to finish their monster tractor.
All right.
Yeah, nice and slow.
Here, it's looking good.
That's it, brilliant.
I reckon that looks like a proper job, doesn't it? Agricultural engineering at its best, Keith. What do you reckon?
After the break, some teams realise their vehicles are on the edge of road legal.
We've got a bit of a problem here. Serious problem.
It's halfway through the build and most teams' vehicles are coming together.
Oh, it fits like a glove.
But after a flying start, the megalomaniacs have hit build problems.
It's going nowhere.
If I got any hair, I would have pulled it out by now because I am just totally and utterly frustrated.
At last, some progress is being made on the Boat Boys' Hampshire estate. Their options had been severely limited by the 3 non-runners Monty bought, but after another look at the ramshackle ambulance, they decide they might be able to bodge something together.
Just give it a gentle lift and see what it does. Well,
But it's a lot heavier than they'd like, so they're going to need a powerful engine to power it.
quite must in front.
Morning, gentlemen. Didn't think anybody was here. I kind of
Very good
thought I must have got the wrong place.
It's unusually quiet.
That's very quiet.
Nice to see you.
Hey, good to see you again.
Was this an ambulance?
Yes.
Right.
This has come to our rescue.
Has it? There we go. And you've got, but there's, because I just saw out the front there's no engine in it, but then I see that there is one here. Right.
There's actually lots of cars now with no engines. We've changed our mind a few times, yes. We've had a bit of a disaster with this.
Have you? Right.
Yeah. We spent 7 days discussing it.
Right.
And 7 hours getting we got to this.
Right, well, you've done pretty well in 7 hours. I mean, you've got a new engine in it.
I now don't have a Range Rover. Came out of it.
Is that where it's from?
Yes, we pulled out of the Range Rover in desperation.
Oh, no. Why have you put the engine here then? Why didn't you put an engine in the front?
For the balance, you see. It makes it mid-mount, otherwise it's a bit nose heavy.
Right, I see.
Especially with the boat side of things, because that's really, it's the boat boys, we should do quite well.
So this is essentially a boat with wheels, and this is what you're going to be developing.
So the boat boys finally have a plan. They intend to build a boat hull around the ambulance chassis. And they'll use the diesel engine that was powering Toby's broken-down Range Rover as their power source. With it mid-mounted in the centre, rather than the front, they should ensure their boat car is well balanced, which will be useful on the water challenge. But that heavy chassis could make them a little on the slow side. And they're a long way behind with their build, so they're going to have to work hard to catch up.
Because, I mean, you've got to kind of make some fairly big decisions soon.
Well, I'm going on holiday tomorrow. And,
yeah. How long for?
About 10 days.
Which sort of leaves it as it's kind of a bit of a two-man team then, in terms of build.
Well, same as normal. To be honest with you, Robert, I think actually we'll get on a lot quicker without Toby around.
Thank you very much. You want the real truth, Robert, is when I get back in 10 days, this will look exactly as it is. Don't worry.
There's no chance of a holiday for the Green Goddesses. They're beginning to suspect they brought a bit of a dud.
Okay, we knew it was bad, and we knew we'd have to do bits on the side. But there's a hole in the floor.
We've got a bit of a problem here. Serious problem. we're not going to get through the MOT, let alone the SVA, with this.
Could be a late night.
Yeah.
Teams are worried about finishing their machines on time, but they've also got to get them road legal. The single vehicle approval test for out-of-the-ordinary vehicles is in a different league to the humble MOT. Our teams are finding out just how tough the requirements in the 200-page SVA manual really are.
The Chaos crew are spending hours filling and sealing 1,000 rough edges to keep inside the guidelines. The barley picker's truck is looking good, but Andy's having a nightmare wading through the SVA paperwork. And the green goddesses are racing to plug the rust holes in their eco-bug.
What time is it, Nikki?
It's 3 a.m.
But having had their plans checked over by an SVA inspector, it's the megalomaniacs who are finding out just how tough the SVA rules can be.
Some news, guys. The man from the SVA, he say no. That's what I've heard. Was he a nice man, though?
He was a very nice man.
Right.
A very, very nice man with some really, really bad news.
Oh, no.
Basically, he said we can't put it through as a trike.
Right.
So, all of my ideas, the scorpion design, the nice 8 pipes coming out, everything is just been blown out the window.
You can still have 3 wheels. Can you
still have three wheels?
All right,
Three wheels
so
is not the problem.
All right, that's not the problem.
The problem is that we're probably going to have to put a body shell on it.
What a shame. So you've got to cover the engine up?
We've got to cover everything up. Even so much as a simple hose clip would fail SVA because it's got a sharp edge on it. The pressure's just gone boom, through the roof.
Right.
And I honestly don't know. I stand here now and tell you now, I don't know if we're going to be ready on time.
Right.
The barley pickers, on the other hand, are starting to enjoy themselves.
Right, go on, let's go.
Especially since Andy had a good long look at those SVA guidelines.
Go on then, my old girl. Whoops, we'll be in gear. We sort of think that we have got a little bit of good news. The old machine seems like we haven't got to go for this SVA test, which will be sort of half handy. Apparently we haven't altered him enough from what he was in the first place. Well, as you can see, he's perfectly the same as he was when we started, pretty well, isn't there? Bar a few very minor modifications.
In fact, what Andy's discovered is that as farmers, they can register a home-built vehicle for agricultural display, which means they're exempt from the SVA test and leaves plenty of time to test out what they've built.
So what I reckon you'd call that a proper agricultural job.
With less than a week to go, Toby has returned from holiday and the team can assess the progress they've made.
You're gonna stop?
Right. Smooth?
What's smooth?
Things are beginning to look shipshape at last.
This is magnificent.
You like that?
I love it. It's such a
I
smooth,
bet you would.
beautifully smooth ride.
What do you reckon?
I think it's magnificent. I mean, it's such a change because the front is so boat-like. Engine. I love the fact that the engine's right in the central part of the vehicle. I mean, that's a breakthrough in design, isn't it?
Certainly on the boat side of things, we need to have weight further back. It's right down in the bow there. It's all a bit of a disaster.
It's floating along like that.
Exactly. Well, this isn't a floater yet.
No.
I'm afraid not.
No.
It may never float. It may disappear underwater. But the tyre air system and the whole engine system, all the air comes in through here. It's going to be plumbed in fully. So it means we can actually run in water to about here. Being diesel, it's not affected by water.
The boat boys' vessel looks like a hot favourite for the amphibious challenge. Their mid-mounted diesel engine now boasts a snorkel air intake so it can handle total immersion and keep running. They're planning to fit 2 monster outboard motors on the back, which will really boost their speed. But their craft is less nautical than it appears. That boaty-style hull looks the business, but it's not enclosed at the bottom. So they still face a major buoyancy job if they want to avoid humiliation in the water.
Is what you're facing with the remainder of the build like a kind of large mountain or a small sort of gentle hill?
No, it's a mountain.
It is still a mountain, is it?
We're going to have a lot to do when we get to the different events.
And in terms of the 3 main bits of the challenge, speed?
Pretty crap.
Oh, really? Not very good? sort of bumpy off-roady stuff?
Pretty crap.
Water.
Well, it doesn't float. Other than that, it's fine.
But at least the boat boys are still smiling. The green goddesses could be looking for divine intervention to get them to the Scrappy Races start line.
Hey, green goddesses, how you doing?
Lisa, not too bad.
Now, have I had a bang on the head? I'm seeing double, you've got 2 beetles.
Yeah. It had to go. Our poor little beetle. It rusted
with him?
through. Completely rusted through.
Yeah.
The axles were just disintegrating.
Yeah, I think we were going to die, basically, because it was just going to completely fall apart on us.
How far had you actually got with the work on it?
We had a radiator in, we had the engine in, we had, you know, we'd pulled out all the seats, we were just about to put the seats in and put in the roll cage and everything, and then we just sort of had a look at it, and there was just no way that we should be driving around the country in this bucket of rust.
Okay, so we've got new beetle.
Yeah.
Less than a week. Are you going to do exactly the same to this one as you did to that one? Put in the big fat Peugeot engine?
We just don't have enough time to do anything fancier. We've got to do the original plan and just zoom.
But you've got an awful lot of work to do in a very short space of time.
Oh, yes. We thought it was bad before. Now...
I want to cry.
With only a few days left, the megalomaniacs aren't looking forward to their weekend.
It's now 5:25 on Saturday evening. At the moment, we haven't even got a rolling chassis. We've got to get the shop built. We've got virtually no electrics in. We've got no brakes, no clutch. We've only got 2 seats. We've got no seat belts. We've got nothing. I think, chaps, we're going to end up working through the night.
It's going to be flat out work if the Megs are going to be ready on time.
Somebody help there.
In order to pass the SVA test, the Megs must enclose every inch of their vehicle. They had initially hoped to have the trike registered as a motorbike, which would mean a more lenient test. Now they're having to take the full test. They have to worry about everything from rough edges and the positioning of their bumpers to electric wiring and checking every light works on the dashboard.
And we're just 3 hairy-ass guys working in a small factory, just trying to make this vehicle legal.
Well, Hadrian, the teams have done a lot.
Oh, they've come on a lot.
Now, I know you weren't mad keen on the Chaos Crew's Push Me, Pull You Taxi, were you, originally?
No.
They kind of seem to have come together pretty well.
Yeah, but realistically, it is quite a simple build. It's just get 2 taxis, cut them in half and weld them together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's very easy, but it's easier than some of the other builds.
Yeah, because for the Green Goddesses at the start, I thought, well, they've got the easiest build. I mean, they're just basically changing the engine
Changing
in the standard
engine,
car. But
yeah.
then the car was just a total write-off. So now they really are up against it. Out of all the
Well,
teams,
they're up against it time-wise.
Yeah.
Now. It's a good job that they didn't have a major build.
Yeah.
And get halfway through it.
Yeah.
And then say we've got to scrap it.
Yeah. Now the boat boys, they've been very busy, sort of changing their minds mainly, haven't they?
Or holidays.
Or holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to have affected their build time, hasn't it?
Oh, look, we've got a challenge, let's go on holiday.
Let's go on holiday for 2 weeks. No, they still got quite a lot to do. Because, I mean, the barley pickers, they were really up against it with the SVA. Like,
Yeah.
There was no chance that was going to pass. And they've managed to sort of do a bit of quick EC farmers loophole.
Well, so they've got it down now as an agricultural show vehicle.
That's ridiculous.
It'll be the biggest agricultural show in Britain, right the way down the M4.
So the barley pickers are the one team who can enjoy the end of their build, safe in the knowledge they don't need an SVA test.
Barley pickers, I know you said you were going to make it big, but that's enormous. Well, it certainly looks fantastic, guys. Has it all been plain sailing?
The captain knocked the axle off, which was a bit of a downer.
I was testing the brakes a bit. We was coming down the track about, 6 or 7 miles an hour. And I put my foot on the brakes very gently, and the axle fell off.
The front axle?
Yeah.
So how hard or easy was that to fix?
It was like 4 days' work, I think.
Yeah, Robin and Keith are looking less amused about it than you are.
I have to teased off, I think. Yeah.
What worries us now is he's got steps on and he can get in and out of the cab on his own. So when we're not here, he keeps hopping in and going off for a drive.
OK, let's have a look in your cab. Woo! Andy Barnes.
Good, isn't it? Hey, good.
It's huge. Now, Andy, I can't help noticing there's a very large gap in the floor. Why is that?
It's a very, very technical problem, that was.
Right.
Yeah, because the gear stick has got, like, you know, like, first is sort of in Oxfordshire somewhere, and second's, like, North Cornwall somewhere. So Robin got in here with a gas.
And chopped a big hole in it?
Chopped a big hole in it, yeah.
That's the technical phrase.
Yeah.
So how many gears have you got on here now?
We've got this wonderful little splitter box.
Whoa, I'm loving that.
That actually gives you a 2 ratios, like, so we've got 5 gears, and then you get number 5, pull your splitter in, and then go back to number 1. That gives you 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So
there are going to be people looking very scared, I think, if you're in 10th gear, rowing along Britain's open road.
We'll have to get out the way.
I can't wait to see it. That is fantastic.
You want to have a listen?
Yeah, go on.
Have a listen.
Get this.
Just fire it up. What about that then?
Now that is loud.
That's good, isn't it?
It's brilliant. Well done.
It's good.
At last, there's some good news for the goddesses. The SVA have confirmed that as long as they don't alter their new Beetle chassis in any way, they don't need to pass an SVA test. Which means extra precious hours to get the EcoBug ready for the start line. Apart from the barley pickers, who now have time to add decorative touches to their supercharged tractor, all our teams are working flat out to the end of their build.
There's less than 48 hours till the teams face that all-important SVA test to find out whether they can be allowed out on the road to compete in the Scrappy races. If they fail, then the last 5 weeks' work will have been for nothing, and they'll be out of the championship. The Megs still haven't tested their rear suspension, the Boat Boys have left everything to the last minute, and the Chaos crew haven't been able to leave their backyard.
Which of our teams can finish their Scrappy races in time for their first run out around a test circuit? It's a final chance to uncover any major faults before they face the first big challenge. The SVA inspector.
It's time to reveal our team's junk-built jalopies.
Build time is over and our teams have completed their vehicles. 5 of the most bizarre roadsters ever seen.
The Green Goddess's EcoBug has gate-crashed the party, rust-free and ready to rock and roll.
Also raring for race action is the Boat Boys' gung-ho gunship.
The heavyweight contender is this 7-ton tractor, complete with chicken shed built by the barley pickers.
The Chaos Crew's dark and deadly Chaos Cab will be pushing and pulling for victory.
And finally, the megalomaniacs are out to cause maximum mayhem in their turbocharged trike. Now it's the moment of truth. How will they perform?
We've set a circuit to test the vehicle's roadworthiness and to uncover any major problems before tomorrow's SVA test. First, a short slalom to reveal any stability or handling issues. A test of braking at the zebra crossing, then a parallel park into the tightest of spaces. And a display of pulling power as they tow 2CB. Around the roundabout as fast as they dare, then it's foot down and race for the finish. We'll be timing each run, and though there's no points for the fastest circuit, our teams will be out to show that their vehicle is hot favourite for the Scrappy races.
So, Adrian, we've seen the mad vehicles, we've seen the course. I mean, on this particular aspect, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for the team?
It's really got to be the slalom and the parallel parking. That's the hard ones for them today.
Because that's mainly because of visibility and stability,
manoeuvrability, and of course they're all going to be going for it.
Yeah, they will be, won't they? They're not
it's
going to
a proving ground today.
First to test themselves at the driving school are our friendly farmers.
Barley pickers, it's time to see what your 10-ton tractor is made of. Go.
It takes a while to work through 10 gears, and acceleration isn't the greatest.
As giant tractors go, it seems to be fairly agile. Air brakes ensure there's no problem stopping quickly.
Go on, no, stop.
And Andy proves you can park a lorry in a hurry.
Yeah, you just missed the car. He's in, he's home. He's in there?
Do that? Yeah, go. No, wait. Just far back.
No problems with their engineering so far, but there's a few problems with communication on the tow.
I think he thought it was on. Go!
No mistakes second time around. Though it seems the air brakes work better than Robin expected.
The tractor looks top-heavy round that tight turn.
Back wheel is
teetering on
nice and high, isn't it?
But their time of 2 minutes 15 seconds is a pretty decent first run.
Next up is the EcoBug, running on cooking oil for the first time. Having worked flat out for 2 days and nights, the girls are going to take it carefully. They don't want any more last-minute repairs.
The EcoBug steers and stops well and seems to be running well on the chip fat. The less said about the parallel park, the better though. No time wasted there.
Not exactly speedy.
But the rest of their circuit is pretty good, and they set a respectable time of 2 minutes 36 seconds.
Stability and the rear suspension are a concern on this trike, so the Megs are glad to be getting a good run out.
The brakes look absolutely fine and they're fastest up to here.
Well, he should be able to do this really easily because he's got such good visibility out there.
I can't see a bloody thing.
Perhaps the trike isn't as agile as the Megs would like. It takes almost a minute and a half to park.
That was coming.
The tow is pretty straightforward. There's a lot of power in that Range Rover V8.
Oh, that leans fairish, doesn't it?
But at the roundabout, the rear of the trike leans a long way. Let's hope that doesn't give them problems in tomorrow's SVA test. Not that Nosha seems too concerned right now.
That was fun! Let's do it again!
Just don't tell them their time was 3 minutes 16.
I'll just take a hit, making sure.
Next up, it's Yorkshire's finest in their two-engined Chaos cab.
They're very quick away from the line. And Andy hardly touches the brakes through the slalom. But the zebra stop proves there are no problems in that department.
The Chaos crew look to be on their way to setting a fast time.
Right, straight up.
They complete the tow without a hitch, tear around the roundabout in next to no time, and set the fastest time so far of 1 minute 44.
Hey, well done, Chaos crew.
Last but not least, it's our nautical gents from Hampshire.
Boat boys, get ready to launch your gunboat because it's apocalypse now!
Their gunboat may look clumsy, but it seems to run and handle very well.
Oh, very sensible. Lovely bit of driving there.
The brakes appear to be in top nick too.
Oh, look, they can climb onto the bow and check that their bow's clear. Very good.
Toby parks that boat in next to no time. Agile vehicle or just great driving?
Lovely bit of parking. Nicky Leather.
It's going to be close between the boat boys and the Chaos crew, and the boat is just ahead at this stage.
That's brilliant.
Very nice.
Toby rips it around that turn. It's a great run, and it's the boat boys who've set the fastest time overall.
How was that, all right?
That looked good.
Boat boys. Really happy with that?
Well, it seemed pretty fast.
Well, I can reveal to you, you probably don't know, that your time for that run was 1 minute 26 seconds, which means you've won the test vehicle day. So well done, boat boys. Excellent.
The boat boys might be the quickest around our course, but that'll cut no ice with the SVA inspector. For the 3 teams that require SVA testing, the long-dreaded appointment has arrived.
Okay, we're just going to test the speed of accuracy now. We're just going to check it between 35 miles an hour and 70 miles an hour, so it does get noisy.
Dreading a minor fault causing us problems. You know, wipers, indicators, anything. Everything we've got to check over and over and over again. Hopefully it should go through. Fingers crossed.
This is no rubber stamp job. Every year, SVA inspectors fail 1 in 4 of the vehicles they test.
Is it a boy? Is it a girl? As long as it's got 8 legs and 2 tentacles, I don't mind. And all the points that you have to go through to make it legal are quite phenomenal.
Anything from a wrongly positioned headlight to a faulty windscreen wiper will mean the last 5 weeks will have been for nothing.
What this is doing now, it is showing you whatever this would touch is what a pedestrian would come in contact with should the vehicle strike somebody or a person walk into the vehicle.
For 2 hours, the teams are on tenterhooks, and the Scrappy Races hangs in the balance. But finally, the time comes for the inspectors to reveal the results.
We should be all right, I reckon. Sorry, slight problem.
Yeah.
Well, for other road users, you passed.
Hey! There you go, Andy.
Lovely.
That's what all the work was for.
Here comes the man. Wow, look at that.
Hey!
Thank you very, very much. That really is extremely kind of you. Boat Boys special.
Give me a hand.
It's a model as a water cruiser.
So the good news is the Scrappy Races are go. Early next morning, our teams line up on the start line, ready to find out where in the country they're headed.
Your first destination is Pendine Sands in South Wales, where a scrap heap awaits, and your first challenge will be revealed.
Next time, the Scrappy Races get underway. Our 5 teams and their bizarre roadsters are taking to the leafy lanes of Britain.
First, they face a 300-mile trip to South Wales, where we reveal the first Scrappy Races challenge, a breakneck test of speed on the legendary Pendine Sands.